I have chose to interview my mom for this assignment. She was born in 1961. Do you remember when the first TV was introduced?
The first TV, I heard that the first TVs were introduced shortly before my oldest brother was born. He was born in 1958. And I've heard stories that when we first got a TV, it was on a stand and he was a young baby, maybe a year old, and he pulled it over on himself. But I do remember when we got our first color TV. I think it was probably in the late 60s or early 70s, and it was kind of a big deal. It was on a stand on legs, and it had color for the first time, and that was so exciting.
Did you grow up when there were only a few channels on the TV to choose from?
Yeah, the main networks, NBC, ABC, and CBS were the main networks, and that was mainly what you had to choose among. You would turn the dial yourself to choose among those. And then I can remember when I was probably maybe a very young teenager or a preteen, we started getting PBS channels. There was a PBS channels that we could get, like Sesame Street and Lucy's Toy Shop was the one. I know here in Cincinnati they had Uncle Al, but up in Columbus where I grew up we had Lucy's Toy Shop was on one of the PBS channels.
What was life like before portable devices?
Well, I can remember, if you had to call someone on the phone, you would take the chance of whether they would be there, and they wouldn't be there. And before answering machines, you just had to let it ring, and if they weren't there, they didn't answer. You just had to call them back another time. And then I can remember when we started having answering machines, and you could at least leave a message and say, "Call me back." But now with the portable device, I could just sit here and call someone or text someone, and you can send a message to someone, and it doesn't matter whether they're available at that time. You don't have to think about, oh, what would be a good time to call so and so because they'd be home or they'd be off work. You can just send them a message whenever, and they'll answer it when they get a chance. I can send a message maybe first thing in the morning when I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I don't have to worry about waking anybody up, and they'll just reply when they get up. And the same thing, I go to bed pretty early, but sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll see that someone sent me a message or even sent me a video or sent me a picture after I went to bed, and I can look at it then or when I get up in the morning and send some reply to it. And you don't even have to reply with words. You can send an emoji that's like a smile or something to show that you appreciated it.
So would you say having portable devices has made it easier to keep in contact with people?
Definitely, yeah. You don't have to worry about when they're available. Some people say that, we don't talk as much anymore. We just send messages, but I think it's easier to just kind of let people know you're thinking about them. You don't have to wait for, well, 7 o'clock tonight I could call, but they're still driving home from work, or I can just send a I love you message to one of my daughters, or I can tag them in something on Facebook that I know they would appreciate, and I don't have to worry about whether it's going to interrupt them at work or wake them up. They can just get it when they want to.